Michael Bloomberg is the kind of billionaire whose wealth didn't just come from inheritance, flashy consumer products, or riding the wave of a single viral app.
Left on great terms. We had sold the company at the same time, so they didn't have the concept of severance. Everybody says you got big severance. I didn't.
Instead, he engineered his fortune through an empire most people outside of finance rarely think about. With a current net worth approaching $94 billion, Bloomberg has built one of the most quietly influential businesses in the world, a data behemoth that powers nearly every major bank, asset manager, and financial institution. While his name is often associated with politics, philanthropy, and climate activism, the real story of Michael Bloomberg is one of precision, timing, and mastering the flow of information, and how that mastery made him one of the richest people on earth.
For us to do that, and I can't conceive of the Wall Street Journal being for sale, and if it was, there'd be so many people interested. I certainly can't conceive of us being in the running.
Born in 1942 in Boston, Massachusetts, Michael Bloomberg grew up in a middle-class Jewish family. His father was a bookkeeper for a dairy company, and the family instilled values of hard work, discipline, and education. He attended Johns Hopkins University and later earned an MBA from Harvard Business School. Early in his career, Bloomberg joined Salomon Brothers, a prestigious Wall Street investment bank. It was here that he began to understand the power of financial data and real-time analytics, two pillars that would later define his fortune. In 1981, Bloomberg was laid off from Salomon Brothers after the firm was acquired. He received a $10 million severance package. Rather than seeing this as a setback, Bloomberg saw opportunity. He used that money to launch Innovative Market Systems, a company that would later become Bloomberg LP. His goal was simple but revolutionary: build a machine that could deliver real-time financial data, analytics, and news directly to the desks of traders and investors. At the time, no such system existed. Financial professionals relied on newspapers, phone calls, and scattered sources of information. Bloomberg wanted to change that, and he did. The product he created, known as the Bloomberg Terminal, quickly became an indispensable tool for Wall Street. It allowed traders to monitor stock prices, news, economic indicators, and market movements in real time. It was expensive, costing thousands of dollars per year per user, but it was so powerful and reliable that banks and hedge funds considered it a necessary cost of doing business. In many ways, Bloomberg didn't just sell a product, he sold access to an edge. And in the world of finance, that edge is everything. From the start, Bloomberg LP was engineered for growth and longevity. The terminals became more advanced with time, integrating messaging features, data visualizations, and research tools. Bloomberg smartly resisted taking the company public, which allowed him to maintain tight control over operations, data integrity, and pricing. This strategy insulated the firm from market volatility and shareholder pressures, allowing it to evolve on its own terms. Today, Bloomberg LP has more than 325,000 terminal subscribers globally, each paying around $20,000 per year. That's more than $6 billion in annual revenue, recurring, high margin, and relatively immune to economic cycles. But Bloomberg didn't stop at data. He expanded into financial news, launching Bloomberg News and later Bloomberg TV. These platforms complemented the terminal product perfectly. Instead of relying on outside media to feed data into the terminal, Bloomberg built his own ecosystem of reporters, analysts, and editors. That vertical integration gave Bloomberg LP more control over quality, timeliness, and exclusivity. It also allowed the company to become a credible news authority, not just a tech firm. Another key to Bloomberg's massive wealth accumulation is his ownership stake. He owns nearly 90% of Bloomberg LP, making it one of the most successful privately held companies in the world. Unlike other tech moguls who dilute their ownership through funding rounds or IPOs, Bloomberg stayed in the driver's seat. This decision has kept his wealth concentrated and tightly bound to the company's performance. Every new subscriber, every data stream, every licensing deal adds directly to his bottom line. Over time, Bloomberg LP became more than a financial data provider. It became a critical infrastructure layer for global finance. From central banks and sovereign wealth funds to boutique asset managers and hedge funds, Bloomberg's systems run deep into the world's financial arteries. The company's datasets are used for making billion-dollar decisions every day. And with an increasing focus on ESG's environmental, social governance analytics, risk management, and regulatory compliance, Bloomberg's tools are more valuable than ever. Yet, unlike other billionaires who constantly reinvent themselves with new companies or flashy ventures, Bloomberg's success has been defined by discipline and consistency. He didn't try to disrupt every industry. He chose one lane, financial information, and executed relentlessly. That tunnel vision is what made his empire so durable. Even when competitors like Refinitiv or FactSet tried to challenge Bloomberg's dominance, they struggled to match the depth, speed, and integration of the Bloomberg terminal. Beyond the financial world, Bloomberg's life took a public turn when he entered politics. In 2001, he was elected mayor of New York City and served for 3 terms. During his tenure, he applied the same data-driven approach to governance, introducing performance metrics for city departments, expanding public health initiatives, and investing heavily in infrastructure and education. He also championed gun control and climate change, 2 issues that later became focal points of his philanthropy. Despite being one of the richest men in the world, Bloomberg has long positioned himself as a pragmatic centrist, both politically and economically. He self-funded his political campaigns, avoiding the influence of lobbyists and special interests. When he briefly ran for the Democratic nomination in the 2020 presidential race, he spent over $1,000 billion of his own money in a matter of months, essentially financing a national campaign without needing a dollar in donations. While he ultimately dropped out, the campaign underscored just how vast his resources really are. One of the most fascinating aspects of Bloomberg's legacy is his approach to philanthropy. In 2010, he signed the Giving Pledge, promising to give away the majority of his wealth during his lifetime. Through Bloomberg Philanthropies, he has donated billions to causes such as public health, climate change, education, and the arts. His foundation is one of the largest in the world, with a strategic focus on data-driven solutions, mirroring his business ethos. Whether it's combating smoking in low-income countries or supporting clean energy transition, Bloomberg's giving is always backed by measurable impact. While Bloomberg could easily retire into luxury, he continues to play an active role in both his company and global policy circles. He serves as the UN Special Envoy for Climate Ambition and Solutions and funds mayors across the globe to implement sustainable urban development. His post-mayoral life is a blend of influence without noise, a rare balance in the world of celebrity billionaires. It's also important to note that Bloomberg has never been one for ostentatious wealth. He lives well, owning homes in New York, London, and Bermuda, but he avoids the mega yacht lifestyle or sprawling media presence typical of other billionaires. He rides the subway when in New York. He prefers data over drama. That low-profile, high-impact persona is precisely why so many people underestimate the scale of his fortune. Unlike entrepreneurs who cash out after an IPO or spend fortunes trying to build new companies, Bloomberg's path to wealth came from compounding one winning idea over decades. His is not the story of a single lucky exit or viral product. It's the story of building a utility, the financial world's equivalent of electricity, and quietly charging a premium to plug into it. It's not flashy, but it's unbelievably powerful. And even as the tech landscape shifts toward AI, blockchain, and decentralized finance, Bloomberg's firm remains well-positioned. The rise of machine learning in trading, compliance automation, and data integration only increases demand for high-quality, structured data, the kind Bloomberg specializes in. The company is now investing in AI, enhanced analytics, real-time sentiment tracking, and climate risk modeling, ensuring that it stays relevant in a fast-changing digital environment. If there's one lesson to draw from Michael Bloomberg's journey, it's that information is leverage, and those who control its flow can build lasting empires. Bloomberg didn't invent data. He figured out how to deliver it better, faster, and more reliably than anyone else. And in the high-stakes world of finance, that kind of trust is worth billions. In the end, Michael Bloomberg didn't need to disrupt the world. He just needed to organize it more intelligently. And by doing so, he quietly became one of the wealthiest and most influential figures in modern history.